that's not good. 13, 18, 6, 15, 8, and 3.
Well, Sam ended up with a 1, a 6, a 15, a 9, a 10, and a 5, and a 13.
Oh god.
Good thing y'all may or may not have combat this session. Wait.
Wait, that's all we came back here to do.
Alright. So, finally I get back to actually doing Naruto sessions. It's been a while. Hopefully, not everybody is rusty. I know I am. But anyway.
I don't know. I've been maybe playing games recently, so.
I know, right? Maybe.
Uh-oh. I have a sneeze.
Last session, we ended on, after you guys had traveled into Mitsu's lair to try to save Io with the Garoukage in tow, you succeeded in saving Io, albeit sort of barely. I recall that the rolls there were a little bit clutch, but it worked out. Io was awakened. She's still very weak, due to having been asleep for way too long, essentially. And you were talking to Mitsu, you learned what her connection to this Sozin character was, i.e. that he is the reason that she is even alive and immortal. And if you were to remove the seal that is part of the mind control that keeps the two of them connected, you will, in doing so, kill Mitsu. And also Shiori encountered her mother, who is currently a puppet, human-made puppet, undead-ish. And you also came across a lovely snake who was one of the companions to the third leading member of the Asaguru, whom you don't know much about other than the name of Yoshido and the fact that he has 3 animal companions, one of which was this lovely noodle of a snake that thinks she is stealthy when she is not.
Yoshido, known by some as Voldemort.
So, we open up, returning to the story, we open up on just after the bombshell was dropped concerning Mitsu, and the snake arrived loudly and then left loudly. Having looked in that direction to talk to the snake, Shiori is now staring and eyes locked with the puppet that is her mother, and Akira beside. What are you going to do with that, Shiori? You are looking at Chinatsu,
right?
Who gave you a nice, ever so creepy smile.
Yes, yeah. And you're like slowly getting more and more terrified.
Yes.
Oh, so I am a scare.
Indeed you are, Rutabaga Kitty.
Okay, hold on, I have to find where I actually am on the map. So is she like, okay, so she's here. And I'm assuming this is, Akira.
Yeah. Purple is her, Akira is the red one, yeah.
Uh-huh. And they're like stopping us from going places, right?
No, not really.
Oh.
They're just there.
Okay.
And the thing was, when you had talked to Mitsu and you were dealing with her stuff over here, you knew that they were behind you and you heard them coming, but you knew that that's who it probably was, so you were like forcing yourself to not look in that direction until the snake showed up, was hanging out right here, and then snake left, and now you're looking in that direction.
Okay.
So, but they're not stopping you from going anywhere necessarily.
Okay. She's just creeping.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shiori's going to like carefully take a step forward, and say, "Is that what happened to you?"
In the battle years ago, one we tried to keep you from, I was slain, and an option was brought to allow me to still be around and help others, and I took it.
Can I... Let me look at my techniques. I was gonna say, can I, like... kind of, like, figure out the technique that was used on her to do this?
Probably, I would say you could do either ninja lore to figure out more precisely what
F.
technique it may have been, or you could do treat injury to sort of gauge what state her body is in.
Guess who forgot to open her character sheet? Ta-da!
What? Oh,
I forgot to
Sheila's
open my character sheet.
Yeah, that might be a thing you need.
Oh, maybe. Okay. So as I can roll ninja lore or treat injury?
The difference being, ninja lore would be the harder roll that would give you more information of specifics, but treat injury would be easier. It's something more, something you're better at, but it would only give you the state of her body, like how undead
I couldn't use like
she is.
I couldn't use ninjutsu to like deconstruct what had been done to her. Like not take it apart, but like look at it and see what it is, like what technique it is.
I suppose you could. To use ninjutsu that way, to use any of the ninja techniques skills that way is more of, at the time it's being done, you can sort of gauge it. You can't sort of use it after the fact, unless it's the seal one, which you're still seeing drawn. So, but I mean, either way, I'll let you roll with it.
Okay. A 19. That's a terrible roll.
Was that ninjutsu?
That was ninjutsu, yeah.
Basically, you get the feel that this is an offshoot of, like a very dark offshoot of the normal standard puppeteer work. This is, by all accounts, she is a puppet, but there seems to be just enough of her physical body still there that her consciousness, her memories are scattered but still sort of there, and it's just as if somebody has took what was essentially her corpse after she was killed and has reanimated, half brought her back, and then allowed for chakra manipulation and puppeteer work.
Okay. And then like the puppeteer work is Akira's doing. So
Well, he's the one that's controlling her at the moment. He
Right.
probably, he may or may not have been the one to actually make her this way, but he's the one currently allowing her to move. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's what I meant. Not that he is the one that like made her into a puppet, but he's the one that's puppeteering right now.
Right. Yes.
I guess kind of like this is a blend between like fascination of like how does the puppeteering work if she has to do like procedures and stuff, but at the same time, like I'm sure she's probably like a little bit like distressed seeing her mother like basically a corpse being puppeteered.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how she'd react. Like I'm it's like gonna be like it's a blend of like weird curiosity at the same time, and like she's horrified and probably angry with Akira for like allowing this to happen. And
Right. It's sort of a morbid curiosity, I guess.
right.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how she like. I think I'm having more trouble processing this than she would be. So I don't think
Fair.
I think we need somebody else for a sec.
I take it from that then that Shiori is still just as frozen as when we left her. Or perhaps she took the step forward. She sort of steeled herself and then lost it. So, actually, this would be the first encounter that Okami would have with such an individual. And she's somewhat of a more calculated mind to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's more calculated mind to be like, oh, I want to do experiments on this.
She would have some curiosity that's not impaired by fear and anger.
Or emotion.
Yeah. Or alternately, you could run off with something with Sume to protect or comfort Shiori.
Sumi's just like sitting there going like, what's wrong? It's like, oh no, Shiori's not happy. Why is she not happy?
Well, you know, even Sume is able to figure that the form that is her mother is not entirely normal.
Yeah, but I would like to say that Okami just like sits there and takes a few steps forward and just sitting there like with a very like inquisitive look on her face and just going like, huh.
Okami could potentially roll something to get a better idea of what's going on with her as well.
What would that be?
Let's see here. Ninja lore, ninjutsu, just like Shiori did.
I would probably roll with my highest one, which is
Ninjutsu.
Yeah.
It's the same bonus as Shiori.
29.
That's a full 10 points higher than Shiori rolled. Yeah. So Okami gets a lot of the same that it was puppeteering, offshoot of puppeteering to basically animate a corpse, and that she is still technically alive, but only just barely. She's not. She's got her consciousness, her chakra, and her knowledge, but the actual body and physical elements are not entirely the same.
Okay.
Now, Do you have control over yourself, or do you need someone to control you?
I need someone to... It's complicated. I need someone to allow me to move and to act.
Oh.
But the gestures and movements that I choose to do are mine.
Very interesting.
Meanwhile, Sume is just like, what's wrong?
Yeah, she's just like looking at Yuri like, are you okay?
I don't know.
And so Kami's sitting there being creepy.
Uh-huh.
Just like, huh.
And then Mitsu finally speaks up and... So what's the plan then? If I am to turn myself in as you wish me to do, how are we going to get to, I suppose, Garokutsu? Since you have the Garoukage here, she would need to go home anyway.
Yeah, well. In my head, Sume just like, in like Sume's head, she just like, there's like her, and then there's like, she talks about the Kage there and stuff, and then it's just like the chibi form of Sume just sitting there doing the Will Smith of just, ta-da! Like, ta-da! This is how we get home.
And what is the this?
I don't know. It's a. Alright, I don't know, she probably knows something.
Yeah. Mitsu is... Well, if we're going to leave, the question is twofold. One, are you going to allow me to retrieve the items that I really don't want anyone else to find and then leave? Or am I just to leave that behind? I know, being a prisoner, I'm not going to be allowed to have them. But I shouldn't leave them for someone else. And that's fine. But do we leave walking from the portal? And then she looks to Sume again. Or do you wish to summon us out of here?
Is there a way to get closer to the town?
If you knew of an area of a summon realm nearby, then you could reverse summon yourself to that realm. And much in the same way that you traveled to Halio before, you could get yourself back to Garokutsu. Tiger would be possible, yeah. You just would have to make a big summoning circle again, like you did before, and it would take time.
Right. I don't know, maybe we'll see. So can you freely, you know, uncontrol them? Please?
It's not... The seal on them is not going to cause them any harm, nor is it going to cause them to do anything, unless
I'm sorry, it's the same mark that had my mother attack us. Remove it, please, without harming them. So, please.
By all accounts, she doesn't have one. He does, but she does not.
Still, can you?
Mitsu will look to Shiori as a sort of a kind of like a gesture of faith as she goes to approach her parents. Sort of a, will you allow me to do this even if you may not trust me sort of thing.
At this point, Shiori's like got her mother's like journal in her hand, and she's just kind of like staring at it a little bit, and she just kind of like distractedly nods, like not really focused on anything going on around her.
Ah. Do we get some privy to the information in which she is reading, or is it just like generic?
No,
medical?
she just has it. It's not even open. It's just in her hand. Like she's just.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okie dokie, Miss Mitsu. Time for you to do the thing in which you do. Oof. Wow.
Oof.
Great. Lovely.
What does that mean?
Oh no.
Let's see.
Wait, is that just to remove it?
I'll have her just like, because I technically can. She is a character that has those. Sure. Yeah. So Mitsu sort of she places her hand to Akira's, to like the back of Akira's neck, and Shiori has sense chakra, I believe, but not see, right? Just sense. Yeah.
Yes.
You have sense, but not see, and you don't have any.
I believe so.
Okay. So yeah, you see Mitsu. Mitsu places her hand on Akira's back of Akira's neck, and there's a small flash of energy, and you, at being able to sense chakra, you sense a influx of that purple dark chakra that you come to know as Mitsu's, and then she releases her hand, and Akira just sort of rubs the back of his neck and shakes his head for a second. And then Mitsu turns to Seme as there. Happy?
Yes. Thank you.
Be glad he was someone that I found and not someone that Sozen found.
Right.
Now, are you going to let me get the things that I need to keep from Sozen? from the Atagiri?
Mm,
Or are we to leave here entirely?
shall we ask the Kage? What do you think, Shiori?
Yuri is still in book.
I no, she goes. I think we should ask the Kage, but we do need to stop Sozin.
Yes, we know that.
If whatever things you need to get we're talking about, then if that'll make it easier, then we should at least try.
It won't technically make things easier, but it will keep things from being harder. If that makes sense.
A little.
And at that point, is Shima keeping it close to?
Shima's just like sitting there, like just like sitting. How tall is Grandma Kage?
I would say since Shima is technically a full-grown tiger, at least by size,
Uh-huh.
she would be sitting, on her back haunches or whatever. She would probably be just a hair taller than Grandma Kage, because Grandma Kage is wizened and sort of slumped.
Right. So I guess she's just sitting there, just like looking at her.
Well, for what it's worth, Grandma Kage is not really focused on Shima. She's
That's
focused on
fine.
she's focused on trying to maintain and make sure that Io's vitals are solid and sort of helping to get her maneuvered. And at this point, the two of them would be slowly, sort of with Io leaning on Grandma Kage, making their way back this way, and I would assume Shima would be following.
Yes.
And sort of at the point when she's mentioned the Garoukage rule. What? You were going to ask me something?
Should Mitsu go grab some things before we leave?
She is a criminal and needs to be watched, of course. But as long as she gives us those items, I don't see why not. She certainly can't take whatever she takes out of here and into her cell with her, same as her weapons. But there's no reason we should leave them here for some other villain to retrieve.
Okay.
So, I heard some of what was spoken. Do you wish to leave here directly, or are you going to reverse summon us out of here?
Maybe reverse summon?
You still have marked on your character sheet where Sume used, what was it, 10 chakra, I think, to get everybody here? Or thereabout?
Yes.
Yeah. So, she says, it'll take time, and you'll have to make the summoning circle, which may prove difficult inside of a summon realm. I've never really tried to make that work. But
Well, I'm just trying to think how many days is it going to be from the Tiger Portal to Garokutsu, or from the portal to Garokutsu?
the summon this you spoke of this realm as being from the desert wall, yes?
Yes.
Technically, the tiger portal is closer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's if Sume wants to risk trying to create a summoning portal while inside of a summoning realm. Or because the thing is, when you reverse summon yourself, and when you summon single people, single entities, you can do it without having to make a summoning circle because you can focus your chakra on one entity, be it yourself or someone else. But in order to broaden your focus to take multiple people, you have to you have to draw the circle from scratch, or from memory at the very least. And technically, since she's used this summon portal so much to summon tigers and things, and has mastery in it, Sumi wouldn't have as hard a time making this circle as she did the rabbit circle. But it's still, a question of how you want to do it. And it was like 4 days, or I think I made it like a 3 days trek to go from I made it like a 4 days trek to go from one edge of the map to the other. So you're looking at 3 days from the desert, or like 2.5 days from the tiger portal. It's not like it's going to take a ton off, but it would be some. So.
Okay.
Either way, even with that, the Garoukage also spoke that she's okay with Mitsu retrieving items to keep, Sozin and the other Azagira from grabbing them, if she deems that that's important, as long as someone goes with her to get the stuff. Along with, when she gets those items, she isn't the one to keep them. It's one of us, one of the party, versus her specifically. I.e., versus Mitsu. Basically, Mitsu's items can be grabbed, that makes sense, but Mitsu shouldn't have them. Just as much as the villains that we're keeping them from shouldn't have them.
Okay.
I am out of practice of explaining things, I think. If you wish to, we can spend more time here. At least a little bit more time here. If you wish to travel with Mitsu to grab whatever she needs to get, and then make her portal afterwards, it would probably be best for Io. She needs to get her energy back.
Okay.
Okay, so I suppose you guys are going to let Mitsu go to where she needs to go then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Now, Akira and at this, Akira and Chinatsu, Akira sort of wakes himself up a little bit better. I think, and then speaks up, I think I'll stay here for now. There are some things down in that lower basement that are a bit... Yeah, I'm going to say right here, I think.
Okay.
Basically, he's essentially, without saying why, he's essentially saying all the times he's been down there, he hasn't liked it, especially when he was controlled. And
Mhm.
having just been released from that control, he doesn't go. He doesn't want to go to the one place that he's always been in while controlled. Sort of a um, post-traumatic stress type thing. Um, Either that or the depths of this layer are very, very torturous. One or the other. Not entirely sure which. Um, but he will stay up here, as will Io and the Garoukage. And possibly Okami if she wants to stay with this bunch to keep them in line or something. Or maybe she wants to go and keep track of the kids.
No, Kami's just gonna stay here.
Alright. So Mitsu slowly starts to make her way this way.
I guess we're gonna follow. Boing.
You should have control of your character, so assuming you're on the map page. And not muted.
I'm here. I'm not on the map, though. Oh, wait, no, I am on the map. We moved back to the other map.
Yes, we did.
Sorry, I was trying to read through my techniques to refamiliarize with myself with what I have available.
Yep.
Also, I'm hungry again for no reason, and I just made dinner.
Get a snack.
I know. I'm hungry.
Get catnip. Wait.
Catnip's not food.
But you're a rutabaga kitty.
That's still not food.
True. I mean, technically it's a drug, but anyway.
Yes. I think I'm good on drugs.
Okay. Two is it going back this way? Actually, she goes here first.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
you moved.
This is a little lobby area. Shiori hasn't been in here really before.
Right.
Um,
I think I've only just been in the door and whatever room.
Yeah.
Sorry, whatever room
in-
Io's in.
This basically looks kind of like a combination lobby and library-ish kind of thing.
Okay.
There's various different books and like soft-ish, considering they're all made out of earth and mud, but soft-ish places to sit or lay, and then you can see through the doorway this way that she has more books, a lab, and something that could potentially be considered a like medical ward-ish. She even has like a medical bed over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then lots of vials and various like chemistry-ish type things. And you see that she is actually grabbing quite a few of her alchemical type materials. And she grabs a hold of a few, and then she starts to like put them down in her own pack, and then she realizes you two are still following her, and she just sort of hands them off to whichever one of the two of you wants to grab them. She
I'll help
realizes
carry
you're
some of them.
Well, she realizes you're probably not going to let her carry them.
Yeah.
Gonna take a look at them or anything, or just grab them?
Yeah, let's look through what she's got. Make sure she's not bringing anything dangerous. Or, I don't know. She probably is.
Go ahead and make for me a knowledge, earth and life science. Or no, you could either do knowledge, earth and life sciences to figure out. Technically, you could do either craft pharmaceutical, because basically she's got components for some sort of drug. So, technically, your earth and life science is higher.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, earth and life science. I just randomly saw craft pharmaceutical, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, I have that, but yeah. Yeah, no, my Earth and Life Science is way better, so that's 10. 26.
Nice.
Not a 3 this time, you son of a bitch.
There we go. That's the Sarah personality I was waiting for.
Yes, but it's not Shiori.
Yeah, exactly.
Today, anyway.
So, yeah, you sort of look over the chemical components, and you realize pretty quickly and pretty easily that these are the chemical components to a drug that I think Sume mentioned, but I don't know if it was in character because Sume was never given a name in character. Or wait, yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
This is the chemical components for the Death God pill.
Okay.
Which,
And remind me, real, like, 2 seconds, what the fuck?
The death pill
God
is what Sume had to take in order to get into the final stage of her curse mark.
Okay.
For purposes, it is the drug that allows her to achieve that transformed, more powerful state. Assuming she survives it. And on the initial curse mark, both on the initial curse mark and on the Death God pill ingestion, one has the potential to fall into a comatose state. I chose to follow the line. They fall into a coma rather than they die because Sume wanted curse mark and I didn't want her to possibly die. So, basically, it's the comatose state that she was in where she met with Io, and the comatose state that Io herself was in was due to the curse mark and possibly this pill. They're not entirely sure if Io has ingested this one. You know that Sume has because you've seen Sume's curse form. But yeah.
Okay.
It's very much linked with the curse seal jutsu and Mitsu's whole thing. So, and Mitsu sees you sort of looking over it, and she's, yeah, wouldn't want Sozin finding someone else to help make him powerful soldiers. Not that he would find someone with another curse seal, but you never know what he can do.
Right.
Just in case.
Yeah. Okay, so does Sozin have access to this place? Like,
Yeah,
without Mitsu?
Me or in character?
No, just to you.
Considering that Sozin helped, it's sort of clear that Mitsu didn't make this place on her own.
Uh-huh.
It's not been established whether or not Sozin can, but by her actions and how she's being right now, you can sort of glean that, yeah, he probably has access to here.
Okay, so is it possible for us to, not that he'd probably find someone else with another curse mark, is it possible for us to like take a specific ingredient that's required for that and just take all of it? And then like can we do that without like crippling the like the medical efforts of the people here, the one other doctor here? Like is there like is there like a unique ingredient to this, like the death god pill, that we can just like make sure isn't here if this guy comes by?
Oh, I see.
Or if, or you know, if Mitsu wants to make another one in the future or something like that, can we just wipe out the stock of like the key ingredient or whatever?
Right. So basically,
make sure there aren't enough for 7 herbs and spices.
So that basically, Sozin can't make it because it's missing from here, but she can't make it, or anyone else can't make it later because
we took it all.
Either.
Right.
Yeah, you could totally do that.
Okay, is there a knowledge check I need to roll, like another like Earth and Life Sciences or like something like that?
Nah, you can get that off your 26, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, so Shiori's gonna walk over and take like everything she can of like whatever specific ingredient it is and just like pocket it.
Okay, fair enough. So Mitsu turns to the two of you as she gets to this particular corner. And she's... Alright. Now, I don't know all of what went down, but when your friend came here, when Ryan came this way, the insurance that Sozin placed here reacted. And so it's entirely possible that there may be something this way that involves him. I don't know what he may have done on that end. I know what he did on this end, and the ogres had to come and repair it. That's besides the point. But I just wanted you to be aware. The Azaguru had something from all three of you, I suppose.
Well, that's just a coincidence.
Question?
A coincidence.
Coincidence.
That.
Is that the word you're looking for, coincidence?
Yes. You tried so hard.
She nods. I don't think it was entirely a coincidence. There was something that inspired Sozin to deal with you three. And I think the only coincidence was that I had already captured Shira at the time. Either way, I just wanted you to be aware that something is this way. And she makes her way to this area here, disappearing into the shadows, and I get a poke of revenge from Hunter. Hooray!
Oh no, spooky. Can we follow her?
Yeah, you can follow her.
Okay. Is it still
Assuming-
shadowy when I get here?
I'm unshadowing it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say she can light it up if we need to. Oh no.
Okay. Yes. And I don't have a marker for it, but technically, like right here, in between these two lovely caskets, as it were, are is basically sort of looks kind of like a trap door and a way to go down, essentially, like a not entirely a staircase and not entirely a ladder, some weird combination of both, because you can do that when you build the house from mud. Yeah. And upon seeing these two caskets, roll for me, both of you, a spot check. I suppose Hunter was told I was DMing a thing, and he's like, revenge! Boosh.
Nobody told him anything. That'd be weird.
A likely story.
Sure.
Yes, very likely. Spot
Uh,
is plus. Okay.
Spot checks from you two. Yep.
Yep. 13.
And Zume.
Ah.
Also, did Shima come with you?
Nope.
Okay.
But
Nice. Alright, so yeah, you both see it pretty well. There is, and since Shiori, since Shiori can sense chakra, she gets a little bit more info concerning it, but you see two things of note with these caskets. One, there's a emblem, sort of like a family crest, that is on the front of the case, and to Sume it looks like it's just there, it's just on the casket itself, but Shiori is able to picture that it's sort of it engraved there from chakra. It's not something that was originally painted on or carved into the casket.
wait, I wrote it. Wait, how did she get higher than me?
It's that part is not because it's higher. That part is because she has sense chakra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, she feels that there is a essence of chakra to these emblems, but you both rolled high enough to see the emblems themselves, as well as the other piece of information, and that is that these caskets aren't sealed. They're basically cracked open as if the tops were removed and then replaced, but not sealed. It's like a door that's not all the way shut, basically.
Oh, you don't have like vampires here, do you?
No,
What is
we
this
don't
vampire?
we don't have vampires, just a lot of zombies. But you already knew that.
Not funny.
She shrugs. I thought it was. And she slowly begins to make her way this way towards the trapdoor.
Okay.
You two going to investigate the caskets, or are you just going to pass right on through them? It's just like la 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 la. They're not there. Whoosh.
No, Shiori's definitely
just
gonna
gonna
look.
give him like an eye, just like give an eye, but still like following Mitsu.
No, Shiori's definitely gonna take a look.
Are you going to? Well, at this distance, even if you'd failed before, you realize that it's not sealed at all. What exactly are you going to do to investigate it, I suppose.
Well, I mean, open it.
Oh, yeah. I suppose that'd be something you could do, yeah. Uh, so, yeah. Opening it reveals a female figure, an older woman. Um, she's in the center. She's laying in the casket, almost asleep, in that creepy sort of undead asleep way.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a nice blue, though it's tattered a little bit. She has a blue ninja robe, ninja garb. She has a headband that is from Dataku, obviously. And she has a ever so slightly familiar mask, similar to the one that Ryan always carries. She doesn't respond really to you opening the case though.
Hmm. Okay. And the other one?
The other is a man close to about the same age. He's got more armored garb, and he looks pretty muscular and powerful. He's to speak meta for a bit. He's obviously a strong hero.
Mm-hmm.
He's very muscular in stature. Do you just open the case and look? Do you try to investigate the corpses further or touch them or anything like that, or are you just looking?
Probably investigate more. Yeah. Yeah, probably. I have, like, autopsy skill. Right.
Oh boy.
You do, but that would require actually,
Forensics.
you would actually require you to perhaps carve into said corpse.
Okay, but I mean, like, what else can I just, like, use that skill to, like, do, like, I don't want to, like, open them up, but what can I tell about them from, like, the exterior?
If you can get info looking at them that their bodies are dead. They're not breathing. There's no discernible, at least from this distance, there's no discernible heartbeat. But they aren't in any state of, like, vigor mortis or anything like that. They're not decomposing. Their bodies are preserved somehow. You could perhaps, if you want to actually not open up, but, like, touch and physically examine them, you could do treat injury to do that perhaps.
Okay.
But doing treat injury would imply that you do actually touch the body, which you may or may not want to do.
I don't know that I don't want to.
Roll it then.
Yeah, sure. Which is it do I roll again? What?
Treat injury.
Oh, treat injury, right. 33.
Which one are you doing this to?
Can I bankroll that 33 on both of them? Let's see.
Well, I can let you roll the treat injury to look over them both theoretically, but it's more of which one are you at? Are you doing this specifically to first?
Yeah. Probably the second one. This guy up here.
Male.
Yeah.
All right. If you would please, roll for me. Reflex.
The save, right? Reflex save?
Yeah, reflex save. Not technically lower, but anyway.
Yep.
Yep. So you sort of are looking over this individual, and as you do so, you're sort of. I see your treat injury as a sort of like it's sort of like when you go to use heal, and you're sort of doing this like chakra X-ray type motion, kind of thing. And as you go to do so, the man's right hand just comes up, eyes still closed, and grabs your wrist.
I'm assuming like Sumi like near her just goes, karate chop!
What?
Just like the arm like shoots up because it was just like standing there just like dead people. Great. And all of a sudden this arm just comes up and grabs Shiori, and just like her reaction is just like, you know, like the not exaggerated, but like how people keep their like hands fly and just go like karate chop.
Oh yeah, she like karate chop fighting stance. Which
Yeah, she just karate chop. She sits there and just like hits the arm, just like karate chop.
oh, you're hitting the.
It's just like no, bad.
Oh, okay.
Just like slap.
Roll a attack.
It's just a slap.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did roll an attack when you hit Ryan before, remember?
Yeah, well that was on purpose. This is just a reaction. Just like, dead person moving.
Fair.
26 to hit.
Yeah. Okay. So Shiori, you're like scanning and looking over him, and hand reaches up, grabs, reaction, and Sume just like, yeah, and smacks at the hand, which she totally hits. But there's no like visible pain or whatever. There's the minor glimpse of perhaps a weekend of grip, but that's about it. And Shiori, what do you do when this hand grabs you?
She's probably going to, I don't know, like, she'd probably react with something electrical. Like, I think I have stun gun. Hold on. Let me see, I've got it somewhere here. No, I don't think I have it. I don't think I have stun gun. Static electricity aura would hurt everybody. I don't like oh, here we go. Yeah, probably electrical discharge.
Okay. Does that have a reflex for half sort of thing?
Yeah. And it has chakra resistance, so.
Which he technically wouldn't get because he's prone.
Is an electric 25-foot burst radius centered on the user. Uh-oh.
That for everybody else, though.
It would, but also this is like a panic response, so.
I just see this image of like hand reach, grab, and chop at the same time.
Yeah.
Just like, oh great, this means Sume's hair is gonna be frizzy again.
Yes.
Okay,
What?
I am fine with this.
What are you doing now?
Oh, each time that like Sume gets like electrocuted, her hair gets extreme. Did I say Sume?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Sume.
Your
Her hair gets
all
like
frizzy.
frizzy.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to pat back down.
Alright. Do you have to perform for your static discharge thing?
Looking here. Perform requirements, 5 ranks. 1 attack action, 25-foot burst.
It's the DC. That should be provided the perform requirements thing.
DC 17.
And ninjutsu, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you do technically have to roll. Just don't roll a 1.
Alright. Ninjutsu 16, I got it right. Yep, got it.
Yep. Okay.
No empower or
How
anything,
much
she's just
damage
gonna
does it
bazam. I think it's 3d6 doubled on water and able to be empowered, but she's not going to.
do? Yeah, roll 3.
3d6 reflex half doubled on water. Oh, area is doubled on water. Okay.
Oh, I guess I should roll a reflex save.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
How big is the burst?
25 foot.
On the user.
Yeah, centered on me, so everybody. Bam.
Bam! Give me half that damage.
So
What's that? 8?
8.
Mhm.
What's the save for it?
What? It's it just says reflex half.
Right, reflex half. Your intelligence is +3. What rank was it?
It's rank 4.
So 5, 6, 7, 17.
Mhm.
Okay. Ready for random damage that I was not expecting. Math.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
I'm just-
Give me. I'm gonna be a little slow to respond because I have to make a sandwich.
Oh, it's just
Okay.
I'm responding up here and stuff, and it's a lot easier since we're down there. I'm sorry.
Okay. So. And, he's got a grip on your hand still, and at the zap, his eyes open, and, then,
Eyes open and just scream.
oh
And then she right.
no,
I'm just like,
no, his eyes open, and then, there's a moment where he's just sort of staring at you, like very intently. And Sume, or not Sume, Shiori. Shiori, make a will save.
Oh no.
Is she making a sandwich and she's not away near the computer?
No, yes, this is what making a sandwich means.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that you said that. Gotta wait on the will save.
Yeah,
Then.
it's-
Okay, good enough.
God damn it.
So, yeah. He just gives you this very dark, grim stare, and even if you were terrified to the point where you were going to scream, you can't. You're scared silent. And it should be of note that his eyes are all the more dark because his irises are black. Or the part of the eye that's normally white is black. I can't remember which is which.
No, it's yeah, it is. It's the part that's white is black now. This is like the resurrection jutsu thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Yay, I performed a resurrection.
No, you didn't. Anyway, he.
God damn it! Let me have this one.
He's sort of staring you down, and you're scared, sort of quiet, basically. And then you hear a female voice that you haven't heard. Well, what did you expect? And if anyone was to turn, you see the female in the blue is now sitting up and sort of taking a step out of the casket. Don't worry, we're not going to fight you.
Sorry,
I
I
was gonna
didn't
say before she
mean
like
to...
responds. I was gonna say before she actually like responded, like we're not gonna hurt you. So it's just like sitting there like looking between them with the hair all poofy and stuff, and she just like screams for Shima.
I would say that Shima would probably follow at that, wouldn't she?
Uh-huh.
She's just come lumbering in, just like, what's up? Just like, rawr.
Ka-dunk, 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 running through the... Oh, well, no, she's a tiger. She's a lot quieter than that. Never mind.
No, Shiori was just like kind of stammers for a moment, goes, I didn't mean to bother anybody, I just wanted to know, like, Mitsu had dead people in storage.
The woman actually does this sort of half smirk. Those insurance. I'm sure she told you that. It's got nothing to do with you, though.
She never said insurance was zombies.
And then the man speaks up, and he lets go of Shiori's hand. She probably didn't. And then the two look to Mitsu, and she's... I'm only going down to get some of the stuff that's downstairs. These two are not making me do this. This needs to be kept from Sozin as best as possible. For as long as possible. And the two just sort of shrug. And the man sort of like brushes the side of his armor off, and you see that he probably, though the pain of it wouldn't have been there as much because he's a zombie, he probably got a heavier hit than the mother did, or the female did, because he actually has a one side of his armor is like heavily metal armor. So metal plus electric, and yeah. But and he just grows silent. Goes back towards his casket, as it were.
At this point, Sume's just like goes and like sits on Shima and then just like tries to pat her hair down.
The female is still watching you. Specifically, Shiori.
Shiori just kind of like takes a minute to calm back down, and like you can see her like checking her pulse and like counting quietly, make sure she's not gonna have a heart attack, and she's gonna kind of look to the woman and go, "Who are you?"
I suppose it doesn't hurt to tell you. And out of character, that is a DM sigh from me. Because dadgummit Kelson. She.
Oh, are these people related to Ryan? Okay.
She gives a soft smirk, and she says, pointing, to herself and then to the man, Emma and Darian Firestorm.
What? Shuri just kind of like, sighs and looks down. Oh, I see.
If it matters, we weren't put here to encounter you. We were put here to encounter someone else. And he already woke us up.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything directly confrontational. And then
Well, that's a first.
When Shiori says that's a first, Darian's like right at the same time and goes, rather surprisingly. And he was merely curious, which makes sense. He left here, looks back to Mitsu, and further down the hallway. The lair none too worse for wear, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
At least he didn't screw anything up.
You two as teammates?
You could say that. Still trying to brush down her hair. Still not working. She's getting fed up with it. Does Shiori have anything to say to the question?
Wasn't exactly a question, I don't think. It was more
Yeah.
commentating on the other. I think it would have went over a little bit worse if he had been here himself. He sent
A clone.
Stone Clone, yes.
Yeah.
But regardless, he listened, which is somewhat surprising as well. But if you two are his teammates, I don't know how he has interacted with you. But if he's anything else, if he's anything like Darian over there, Ryan's a bit of a glass cannon. You'll need help, even if he thinks he's powerful enough to handle it on his own.
That's kind of a thing. It ran off on his own, so can't exactly do anything about that.
No, sure. I'm sure you two have dealt with enough. But if he encounters Sozin by himself, he won't survive. And as much as that man brought me back, I still care about my kid, my son. And it's up to you. I don't know what his relationship with you two is. I'm not going to force anything.
So he's
And
just
she-
gonna look at Shiori.
She goes and lays back in the casket. It appears that Darian's already out again.
Okay.
Now, out of character, I also don't want to force y'all's reactions either, but it makes sense in context. So,
Alright, well, he obviously doesn't get his creepiness from them.
what's that?
I was commenting, it's like he doesn't get his creepiness from them. They weren't at all creepy.
Emma smiles and chuckles a bit. A dead man doesn't need tea. And if Darian had it, and she looks to make sure he's out, which he is, he could be pretty creepy.
Ugh. Okay.
I think
We move
you're-
on.
Mitsu,
At this point, she just like totally gave up on her hair.
yeah, Mitsu actually is sort of brushing at her one ponytail that was loose that also got frizzed a bit, and he's like, "Yeah, I only want to go downstairs and get what I need, and I want you two to keep it from Sozin. I hoped
Okay.
that you wouldn't get awakened. But, oh well. I guess morbid curiosity is still a thing when you have a nice little electric medic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she goes towards the little entryway stairwell to go down. And I assume you three follow now with Shiori and with Mitsu in tow. Shima. Words.
Shima.
Yes, Shima. Here we go. And I will try to get just this group. There we go. Copy. Boop. As you go downstairs, yay.
Hey.
Split it up a little bit. These two are still together. Here, here, here. Something like that. Boop. And this place is ever so slightly darker than the previous place. So you can only see so far ahead of you.
It's more dark than upstairs?
Basically in the same vein, the candlelight and things that was upstairs are not all down here. So the light in here is very sparse. Here.
Somebody's just gonna sit there and look at Mitsu and be like, "Have you heard of candles?"
She shrugs. If everyone can see in the dark, what do you need candles for? Well,
Okay.
rephrase. If everyone that matters can see in the dark, what do you need?
I
candles?
don't think I can see in the dark, but I do have light. I think I can create a light ball.
You could.
Is this illusory darkness?
No. It is actually
Right.
darkness.
Had to try. Oh, I don't think I have light bulb. Can I repel the darkness?
No.
Well, fuck.
Okay. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to follow Mitsu.
I guess I don't have light bulbs.
Oh no.
At this point, Mitsu turns to you two, or three, as it were, and actually whispers. Okay.
Oh wait,
Yes.
hasn't Sume like come down here before? Or just like was going like, "Hello."
I think you,
Oh, I came down here to fetch someone. The puppet dude.
when I think you started to head down this way, and I didn't have the map for it at the time, so I just kind of said that Akira met you before you got too far,
Oh, right.
because he was on his way out anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, but she turns and sort of quietly, okay, I would suggest that, assuming he's not asleep on the job, because he does that, you two let me do the talking, please.
Okay.
There's a guard down here.
Why are we whispering?
If he's asleep, he won't hear us. There's a guard down here, and he needs to think that you two, well, three, are under my control, so that he doesn't think there's something up. Because he is not someone that I mind control.
Okay.
It's closer to the others than me, and was sent here to protect the ones that are, she pauses, resting down here.
There's more zombies down here.
No,
Oh.
Sozin keeps all those for himself, primarily.
He was resting down here.
Mitsu, she like rolls her eyes and goes, I'm sure you saw them, if that matters anything to you. Keep quiet.
Oh. Okay.
You two follow her, keeping quiet?
Mm-hmm. Shiori's going to be like before they, like, just quietly, she's going to go, no, I don't think she'd tip her hand. She's just going to, like, quietly, like, be reading surface thoughts for Mitsu to make sure that she knows what to do before Mitsu has to, like, command it.
Basically, she's reading Mitsu's intentions, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That'd be easy enough. Alright. And basically, at this point, Mitsu's intentions is to carefully and covertly get what she needs. Hopefully the guard is none the wiser, and then she can leave. It's somewhat clear that Mitsu is not particularly fond of this individual, whoever this guard is.
Alright.
Alright, so you two follow, and she goes down this way, and as you pass down this way, looking around, you see that there are doorways to darkened rooms to your left and right. And continuing on down, you find and you see he's sort of resting with his arms crossed, and he's slouched and kind of not entirely asleep, but sort of the dozing thing. And you see that it's actually on a very earthen, mud, sand-made chair, basically. And he's a strongly built, heavily built male individual, human. Nothing fancy or weird about his appearance, other than he's in like subtle ninja garb. He has a sort of chain shirt kind of armor thing going on, and you see this would be reminiscent of Sume, and since this wasn't that long ago in character, I'm not going to have you roll for it. It's just something Sume would remember. The reason I have him sprited as what is essentially a horn is he has you know those like medieval war horns?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he has one of those that's resting like on his, since he's sitting slouched, it's sort of resting on his thigh like it be on his belt if he was standing. And it's very reminiscent of the horn that was on one of the vials that was for summon realms and summon creatures that Sume gave you before. Or not Sume, Mitsu gave you before, sorry.
Okay.
And he actually has a helmet with subtle horns as well. And he's resting, half asleep. And at this point, move silently, everybody. should be noted Mitsu is not good at.
Right. $14 for Sume. And a 19 for Shima.
Yuri doesn't have.
18.
Oh, I actually rolled pretty decent.
Mitsu, however, did not.
F.
And
Well, at least
then,
she's not
Does she have any
insane.
reason to?
well, she doesn't want to wake him.
I guess, but
She technically does have stealth. Have a reason to stealth. So, luckily though, this guy's not very perceptive, especially when he's asleep or half asleep. Who was 14?
Sume was the 14, but she was also on top of
Shima.
she's also on
who
top of
was
Shima, who's the 19.
So he does actually wake up and look. Mitsu stands up. The horn sort of rattles along his side. Rolls his shoulders a bit. What do you need? I am down here to get some of my gear. I have I need to go outside to on a mission myself again, as much as I hate it. Sort of raises an eyebrow, sees you two. Are you two staying quiet?
yes.
Yes.
He sort of looks between you all. And I need to roll. Does she have it? I hope she does. No, she does not. How about that?
Uh-oh. What doesn't she have?
Bluff.
Nah, I figured.
Okay. And person dude. I know you have it. There it is. Nope. Well,
Okay.
fair enough. And he looks to you two. Wait. Tiger girl, you mentioned this before. One of the new cursed fighters. Mitsu just sort of nonsense. And then he sort of tilts his head looking at Shiori. And it should be noted he's this big, like 6 foot, easy 6'6", heavily muscular, round individual, and he's. What about the tiny one? And Mitsu's. She's new, but I've got it under control. Just you can stay on guard, and we'll be out of your hair in a moment. Which should be noted, this guy has like receding hairline. So she nods and she makes her way off this way. And I would wager you two are very much keeping quiet.
Well, upon of hearing like out of your hair and then noticing the receding hairline,
Yeah.
Sumi just like tries not to snicker. She has a slight smile on her face. But
Okay.
for the most part, she's staying quiet.
Okay. Almost want there to be a bluff check in that. Although, technically you're under control and you're the one that would matter, so. What's Shiori's response, if anything?
She's just gonna kind of, just like stare ahead, like kind of, you know, whatever, like under control kind of thing.
Okay. Mitsu continues making her way down this way. You guys follow. And she gets to this room here. And you see that it is actually a full-on bedroom of sorts. The cot here is not as small. Well, it's not huge, but it's not like... It looks like this room has been slept in more than the other rooms previously were. And there's like a mirror and other various
So it's like a full-on bedroom and like
yeah.
full with like upstairs.
And there's a chest over here in the corner, and she goes to rummage through the chest and grab some of her other various things. One of which is actually a ritual, a very intricately carved ritual dagger, which she grabs on instinct, goes to put it in her pocket, and looks outside to see if the guard's looking in, which he's not, and she hands it off to Tsume.
Somebody puts it in her bag.
Yep. That went on my... And she softly whispering again. Better than I thought it would.
Oh, we're not out of it yet.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, she grabs some various armaments and gear. Which the ones that are big and obviously something worn, she actually puts on, mostly for appearances, it seems. And you guys then make your way back this way, in reverse order, of course. I want to do it, but I shouldn't. Oh. D percentile is my friend. Help me decide whether or not to do it or not. It's kind of horrible. Yeah. Okay. So, Shiori, question. While traversing back, down and up from beside the sky, did you follow Mitsu like single file right behind her, which would have walked right by where his chair was, or did you sort of ease off a bit to keep your distance from her?
No, she would have followed like straight behind where everyone else was.
Okay. He, as you, not while you were walking in, but as you walk by, he sort of reaches his hand out, and as you walk by, he just sort of ever so creepily, brushes your hair with his hand.
Mm. Uh, can I just not react, or like?
Um, well, I feel like this is sort of a willpower thing.
Okay.
That, you know, it's, she knows the logic part of her brain is like, I can't react, I'm under control by her, I need to keep up with that, and that sort of thing. And then,
It's just like you're focusing, and then all of a sudden someone just brushes your hair.
yeah, this like heavily calloused hand brushes your hair, and I feel like even with your own response, you were like, that would be what Shiori's response would be as well, and it's that willpower of, are you able to keep it under control for yourself? And so, yeah, will save.
Okay. Will save is, I think, 11. Yeah. 17.
Okay. You're able to keep it under control. But it's visibly there for your own, for the people watching. It's sort of that anime hair frazzle thing, that lightning thing, like, ugh. The anime equivalent of like a creep or a chill. But you, on your face, you keep it under control and you move on.
Fumi, on the other hand, following behind Shiori.
Sume would catch it very well as
And
well.
she's just like walking past the dude and just like looking up at him and just like with a slight glare.
He chuckles. Wasn't gonna do anything. Hair looks soft.
With a slow shake of the head. No.
Okay.
Okay.
You actually. Yeah. Okay. Good job keeping it under control, Shiori. Sorry I had to be creepy. Anyway. And you guys continue making your way up this way. And around this corner, Mitsu, like, dismissively shakes her head and I do not like him.
I can see why. Are you okay, Shiori?
I think so, yeah. I just want to get out of here.
Okay, let's do that.
Alright. And you make your way back upstairs. And hooray for avoiding confrontation.
Yay.
Who knows? This guy may come up again later. Also, with the surface thoughts thing, Fury, he was loosely, he believed when Mitsu said that you two were under her control. But at the same time, he didn't want to believe that. He was sort of itching for a fight. Because he's very
Bored.
Yeah. But it seemed he didn't want to go against uh, Mitsu, so to speak. But at the same time, you you were able to, with surface thoughts, even if Mitsu wouldn't have said it, you were able to sense the animosity between these two. Yeah. So, is there any hint of that kitty curiosity for Sume? I wonder, or does she just want to keep the Shiori and get out of here?
Yeah, get out of here.
Fair enough. Um, you make your way back up.
Okay.
All right. And you make your way back up towards front. Everyone's basically where they were when you initially left. I wonder if Akame's got any sort of reaction to the fact that Shima went running off that way earlier.
Okay.
Just like raised an eyebrow and shrugged.
Alright. Well, the question is now on for Sume. Is she going to try to create this?
Let's see how I want to see how Io is doing. How's she feeling?
Okay. You go over to where Io is still leaning on the Garoukage, and she's Sume doesn't have like any of the specifics, although I guess Shiori could come over and look as well. Granted, Garoukage is right there as well. So, but basically, if you basically get that Io is, by technical terms, she's considered exhausted. Her body's just sort of sluggish, but she's awake and moving, and with enough movement and peaceful rest, it's actually rest and not a comatose thing, she should be back to health within the next couple days or so. Which, in theory, if you travel to Garokutsu from the Tiger Portal, she would be getting her energy back. As long as she took it slow, she'd be getting her energy back by the time you got there.
Right. Okay. I guess we'll try it.
Alright.
What could possibly go wrong?
This
What does it
is...
do?
Hmm?
To roll for this summoning thing.
Yeah. You will be rolling to make the summon circle again. So that's the int check that was crap. But it should be noted that it's a much easier roll for you because this is something that you know. And I'm going to let you put your not your ranks, because this isn't technically the jutsu itself, but you do have those 3 points of mastery in summoning. So
Okay.
I'll let you add that to your int check to craft this particular seal, since you know it. So
My int plus the 3.
so d20 plus 4. 3 times, of course. It's not something you can't do. It's just something that may take you a bit. If you want to action point some of those, you can.
No. I'll just deal with it. Okay.
Or you can deal with it. It just sort of takes you time. I think maybe in that first one, your part of your mind is you want to go back down there and beat up the creepy guy.
No.
Well, you know, it could be part of it, but
Yeah.
It's not something you're going to do, but it could be something that was loosely distracting you.
Right.
So it does take you maybe, we'll say roughly an hour or so to craft the seal. And it's also a little bit harder because you notice that as you put the seal together and you go to push chakra into it, that it resists just a tad, and some of the drawings or some of the designs to the calligraphy try to shift on their own, but they don't actually do anything. It's like the very earth in this.
Now, in order to perform it, do I get that +3 on top of my ninjutsu?
Yes, of course.
Okay, couldn't remember.
So you craft a seal. It takes you a little bit. What is the rest of the group doing while this is going on? Akira and the Garoukage is tending to Io mostly. Chinatsu and Akira are sort of just watching Sume craft this seal. And then, yeah,
And just her muttering to herself, it's like, wait, this isn't right. God darn it. Erasing it and like starting again.
Yeah.
Poofy hair.
Still, yeah. What's Shiori doing while she's putting this together?
I don't know. My brain just kind of shut down for a minute.
No.
It's
I
fine.
know.
You could be looking at. You could be just watching her. You could be like burying yourself in your mother's journal.
Yeah, probably. She's like opened it up and reading through it while she waits.
Okay. And Chinatsu sort of turns your way to look. And she, without intending to, does so creepily because she turns to look over her shoulder, but her head turns ever so slightly too far to watch.
Shiori doesn't notice.
Right. And then her body shifts to match slightly, and then I'm glad you're reading it.
She just kind of grinds her teeth slightly and goes, yeah, it helped a few times.
It helped me in the past. I'm glad it can still be of use.
Well, some of it's still a bit too much for me.
You'll get it. And I know it bothers you, but I am still here. Not the same by any means, but I'm still your mother. I want you to understand that.
No, I get it.
And then she turns back to Sume's thing. Roll to perform summoning.
Oh!
Oh, damn!
That's right. A net 20, come on.
Nice.
I didn't even need help from the Kage.
Well, you know,
Like last time.
technically, you would have needed help to carve the seal, or to
Oh,
draw the
right.
thing, not to perform the thing, but that's beside the point.
Right. But still,
you-
like, oh.
It just, basically your nat 20 is, it feels natural. You don't get too much of an influx of chakra as you're pulling more people than you were before, slightly.
Right.
Like
I'm
a full
pulling 3 more people.
2.5 more.
Let's just stick with 3 people.
Well, I mean, technically. So, I think I had you take a hit of 10 chakra when you did it last time
Yeah.
for everyone. We'll go with, I would have said 15 for the extra people, but because of the nat 20 and it came so easily to you, knock it to 12. So 12. And everybody disappears from in here. And I think that is where I'm going to end it this session, I believe.
Okay.
As long as that wasn't too horrible for anybody.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry I was a little out of it.
Oh, you're fine. I
I
think
know,
we
it's
were
been a
all
while
kinda
since I
rusty,
played
too.
Shiori, and I kind of, yeah.
Layering all the peoples. And copy. And whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Whoosh.
And
Okay.
It's like
I
she
mean-
gets, like, they land and then she just goes, I need a nap.